How do you think we can encourage and support women coming into the industry? Jasmine, can I start with you?
It's really interesting because we said earlier on, as we were all talking about, we all kind of fell into the industry, and so our passion for it is something that's kind of developed as we've worked through it. So in terms of encouraging women, it's by being there and I guess examples of women in the security industry. That's all I can think of now. Maybe come back to me.
I think holding forums such as these and putting it out there that we are here working in the industry and very successful at it. But I think as well, going back, maybe starting earlier in the process, and maybe when young adults are starting to look at college or apprenticeships and internships, we should be promoting that, I suppose, through our business and encouraging women in that way.
It's kind of, if you don't mind me cutting in, I guess this bit of a to and fro conversation, but it's this kind of thing, as you said, and it's using the resources at our disposal, like social media, like everything else like that, and making sure that it's out there and easy to find. I guess because we all fell into it, what is the attraction of the security industry? You know, what would be the main thing? I don't really have an understanding of that, but I know that I love it now that I'm in it. So, yeah.
I think as well there is some self-inflicted unconscious bias around women in tech in general, and we need to try and get over that. And particularly when somebody comes into a role, they may come in and think, you know, stereotypically, I'm going to go into admin, I'm going to go into customer service, or I'm going to go into credit control because they're the roles that are more women-dominated. I think it's empowering the women to know that technically the support's there, and if you put your mind to it and you have the right training, you can achieve anything. And that's where I think we need to go further with it. I think things like the women in security and the technical category is great. I think that empowers women. But I think as well, it's just making sure that we encourage people from the early ages of those, when they come into the sector. It's actually not that daunting. There's data sheets available, there's product, there's support. Believe in yourself, and you can do well. I do find as well, in the past, when I first joined the industry, back in the day, 33 years ago, I was the only woman in sales in the Northern office. And I got a call once from a guy saying, can I speak to sales? And I said, you're through to sales? And he was like, oh, is Chris there? And I said, and he was free, but I thought, no, I said, actually, he's on the line, but I can help. Oh, okay. And he wanted to know about a telemetry receiver and why the wipers, I'm going a bit technical here, but why the wiper wasn't working. And I said, well, that's because you've got a ZR3, not a ZR4. You need the auxiliaries. And he was like, speechless, and then became one of my best customers. So I think it's just having that little bit of, you know, sometimes you have to overcompensate in the role, but the world's changing with things like the iPhone and technology. Naturally, females in schools are getting more technically competent, and it's around us all the time. So hopefully, I'm hoping it'll be more of a natural thing to get more women in tech.
Yeah, to follow on from Camilla, I think you're 100% right. So there's a big focus now for young girls to go into STEAM. I've got a daughter who's just coming up to 9, and she's got an engineering mindset, but I guarantee she wouldn't be encouraged that way initially. So it's on us to be more visible to the young people and to show that there are so many options within the industry. You might start in admin, I think a lot of people do, but the roles open up. So just to be inquisitive and to keep pushing them forward.
I think awareness from an early age is important. If I think back to when I was younger and I was making career choices, it was your typical nurse, policeman, woman, those sort of generic jobs, and I didn't even know what procurement was or security. In Tesco, we have actually started doing something called Store of the Future, where we'll go into some schools at the age where they're choosing their subjects, and it's just to basically introduce them to a large retail business and the opportunities work-wise that are available there. So perhaps that's something that women in security could think about doing to encourage that from an early age. At the end of the day, everything is, you know, technology is everywhere and it's advancing, and as an industry you get to be sort of at the forefront of that, and it's also great to see that what is a male-dominated industry, there's actually quite a few champions from men encouraging women in the industry as well, which is really nice and supportive.